All right, brain power engaged. Let's dive deep into The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, a classic by Dr. Joseph Murphy.
Oh yeah, a classic for sure.
This book, it explores how our subconscious minds, they can really make or break us.
Absolutely. Make or break our success, our happiness, our health, everything.
Attract the right partner, achieve those goals, even heal ourselves, it's all in there.
Buckle up, this is going to be a wild ride.
You know, what strikes me about Dr. Murphy, he makes this whole mystical thing, the subconscious, sound almost like a science.
Right, like he's saying, hey, this isn't some esoteric mumbo jumbo, you can actually learn this.
Totally. He even uses all these chemistry analogies to explain how the conscious and subconscious interact.
It's almost like a formula, a system you can decode and use to your advantage.
I love that because it makes this power accessible to everyone, not just, like some mystical guru on a mountaintop.
Exactly, it's empowering, right?
Totally. So how does this whole conscious-subconscious duo actually work?
Well, he says they work together, but they have very different roles to play.
Like a team.
Yeah, like a dynamic duo.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Okay, think of it like driving a car.
Okay, I like where this is going.
Your conscious mind, that's the driver, right? Deciding where to go.
Makes sense.
But the subconscious, that's the powerful engine. That's what actually gets you there.
Oh, I see.
And here's the thing, the subconscious, it doesn't question the directions.
Oh, that's interesting.
It just acts on them.
So if I'm constantly feeding my subconscious negative thoughts like, I'm a failure, it's going to drive me straight into a ditch. Metaphorically speaking, of course.
Well, yeah, pretty much.
Oh, that's a bit scary.
But on the flip side, if you feed it positive thoughts, empowering beliefs, it'll take you to amazing destinations.
I like the sound of that. So it's all about positive thinking.
Well, not just surface level positive thinking.
Oh, there's a catch.
It's about really believing it deeply. Like, I am capable of achieving my dreams, not just saying it.
So it's more than just fake it till you make it. It's believe it till you become it.
Exactly. You got it. It's about rewiring your brain at a deeper level.
Powerful stuff. And Dr. Murphy, he uses these fascinating case studies to illustrate this point.
Oh, they're so compelling, right?
Remember the story about Caruso, the famous opera singer?
Oh, yeah. Crippling stage fright.
He actually overcame it by talking to his subconscious.
Like literally having a conversation with himself.
He acknowledged his little me, the fearful self, and then affirmed the power of his big me, the confident performer within.
It's like he was reprogramming his inner software.
Mind-blowing. What about that woman who attracted her ideal partner using the power of her subconscious?
Oh, yeah. She literally wrote down a list of qualities she desired in a husband.
Like a shopping list for a soulmate?
Kind of. But she truly believed she would find him.
And she actually did.
She did. It's like she sent out this highly specific order to the universe, and the universe delivered.
Incredible. But this power, it's not just for love or career success, right?
Yeah.
There's that story of the man who healed his lung infection just by affirming perfect health before sleeping.
Right. Blew my mind when I first read that one.
It makes you wonder, are we even tapping into a fraction of our subconscious potential?
Seriously. That's
Yeah.
a huge question. Dr. Murphy, he believes our subconscious minds hold this immense healing power.
It makes sense. I mean, think about it. Our subconscious controls so many bodily functions without us even thinking about it.
Like breathing, our heartbeat, digestion, it's all happening behind the scenes.
Okay, so we're starting to grasp the power of suggestion when it comes to ourselves, our auto-suggestion.
Right, what we tell ourselves.
But then there's also the power of what others tell us, the hetero-suggestion.
Oh, yeah, that can be huge. Think about all the messages we're bombarded with daily, from advertising to social media.
It's like a constant stream of suggestions, both positive and negative.
And how much of that seeps into our subconscious without us even realizing it? That's the scary part.
Right, it's like we might be internalizing limiting beliefs that aren't even ours to begin with.
Exactly. And Dr. Murphy warns us to be mindful of these negative suggestions, especially those we might have heard in childhood.
Oh, like if someone told you were bad at math when you were little, you might still be carrying that belief and self-sabotaging without even realizing it.
That's right. It can become a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Makes you think twice about the things we say to kids and to ourselves, for that matter.
Absolutely. Words have power, whether we speak them aloud or just think them silently.
Dr. Murphy, he shares some pretty chilling examples of this, like that man who always joked, "I'd give my right arm for that."
Oh, yeah, and then he actually lost his arm in an accident.
It's eerie how those words manifested in his reality.
It really highlights the need to be mindful of what we repeatedly say, even if we think we're just kidding.
And then there's the story of that guy who believed the fortune teller's grim prediction and actually died.
Talk about the power of suggestion.
It's a stark reminder that our beliefs, whether positive or negative, they can have a powerful impact on our lives.
It begs the question, what are we choosing to believe, and how is that shaping our reality?
Deep stuff. So how do we start leveraging this incredible subconscious power for good? I'm assuming positive affirmations are a big part of it?
Affirmations are definitely key, but they're not like magic spells, you know?
So there's more to it than just repeating positive phrases.
Right. Dr. Murphy stresses that simply repeating affirmations without believing them is like writing a letter and not mailing it.
Meaning,
It won't get you anywhere.
so it's not about mindlessly chanting affirmations. It's about consciously and sincerely imprinting those beliefs onto our subconscious minds.
Yes, exactly. It's about cultivating a deep, genuine belief in what you're affirming.
Okay, so let's say someone wants to start their own successful business.
Perfect example.
It's not enough to just say, I am a successful entrepreneur, right?
It's more about visualizing yourself actually running that thriving company
Seeing it, feeling it, believing
and
it.
feeling those emotions, the joy, the fulfillment, as if it's already happening.
Like creating a mental movie of your desired reality.
Precisely. Dr. Murphy, he talks about creating a detailed mental blueprint of what you want to achieve and really believing in its possibility.
Okay, I can see how that would make a difference.
It's about aligning your inner world with your desired outer world.
Makes sense. This has been an incredible start to our deep dive into the power of your subconscious mind.
We've only just scratched the surface.
I know, it's mind-blowing. And to our listeners, stay tuned because in the next part, we'll delve even deeper into some practical techniques for harnessing the power of the subconscious.
We'll explore the incredible potential for healing, abundance, and creative expression that's waiting to be unlocked.
It's going to be an incredible journey, so buckle up and get ready for more mind-expanding insights.
We'll see you in the next part.
Until then, keep exploring the power within. Welcome back, everyone, to our deep dive into the power of your subconscious mind. Last time, we were just starting to unravel those hidden programs, those beliefs we pick up, especially as kids, that can kind of run the show without us even realizing it.
Right. It's wild how these beliefs, they can shape our reality like a blueprint we're not even aware of.
Like in the last part, we talked about the example of someone who was told they were bad at math as a kid. And even if they're actually capable, that belief might create a block, make them anxious, and underperform, even as adults.
And the thing is, you can't just will yourself out of it. You can't just slap a positive affirmation on top and expect everything to magically change.
Yeah, it's deeper than that, right? Like it's about really addressing those foundational cracks, those limiting beliefs, before you can build something solid and lasting.
Absolutely. Dr. Murphy, he talks about using techniques like affirmations and visualization to reprogram those negative beliefs. But the key is belief.
You gotta truly believe in the positive message you're feeding your subconscious.
Yes, exactly. It's about cultivating that deep inner knowing, that resonance with the truth of what you're affirming, not just mindlessly repeating words.
So it's about aligning your inner world with the reality you want to create.
Spot.
Okay, so we talked about the power of suggestion, how it can work both for and against us. Remember those chilling examples from the last part?
Oh yeah, the guy who lost his arm after constantly joking. I give my right arm for that.
And that other guy who died after believing the fortune teller's grim prediction.
It sends shivers down my spine every time I think about it.
Me too. But Dr. Murphy, he also shares incredible stories of how positive suggestions, especially those we give ourselves, can literally transform our lives.
Absolutely. Like, remember that singer who overcame her crippling stage fright through consistent positive auto-suggestion?
Yeah, the one who kept affirming her confidence and ability to perform beautifully.
And her subconscious mind, it eventually accepted those suggestions as truth.
Her stage fright vanished, poof, just like that.
Well, not exactly like that. It took time and effort.
But the point is, it worked.
Exactly. It highlights the power of retraining our minds, feeding them with those positive, empowering messages.
It's like we have the ability to reprogram our own mental software.
I love that analogy. It's so powerful, right?
Totally. But how do we know if we're even susceptible to these suggestions, especially the negative ones? Like, how do we identify those hidden programs that might be running in the background?
Well, Dr. Mercy says a good place to start is by paying attention to those recurring thoughts and patterns of behavior we talked about earlier.
Okay, like, do you always imagine the worst case scenario playing out?
Or do you tend to self-sabotage when things are going well?
Yeah, those are good indicators.
Those might be signs that some negative suggestions are operating beneath the surface, influencing your choices and actions without you even realizing it.
So it's about becoming aware of those thought patterns, kind of like shining a light on those shadows and questioning the beliefs that might be holding us back, right?
Yes, exactly. It's about taking back control of your mental landscape.
But it's not just our own thoughts we need to be mindful of, right? Dr. Murphy, he also talks about the constant barrage of suggestions we receive from the outside world.
Oh, absolutely. Think about all the advertising, social media, the news, even conversations with people around us. It's like a never-ending stream of input, both positive and negative, shaping our beliefs and perceptions.
It's almost like we're swimming in a sea of suggestions, and it's hard to know what to absorb and what to let go of.
Right. It's why Dr. Murphy, he emphasizes surrounding yourself with positive influences, people who uplift you, inspire you, information that aligns with your goals and values.
Like curate your mental diet, choose what you feed your mind, just like you'd choose healthy food for your body.
Exactly. Create that mental ecosystem that nurtures your growth and supports positive change.
Okay, so we're starting to understand how important it is to be mindful of the suggestions we're taking in, both from ourselves and from the outside world.
And now we're going to dive into one of the most transformative concepts in Dr. Murphy's work, forgiveness.
Forgiveness, it's such a powerful word, and I think a lot of people struggle with it.
Oh, absolutely. Dr. Murphy, he dedicates a whole chapter to forgiveness in his book, and for good reason.
That important, huh?
Oh, it's huge. He argues that holding on to resentment, anger, bitterness, guilt, it's like drinking poison and hoping the other person dies.
Ouch, that's a powerful image.
It is. It highlights how those negative emotions, they hurt us more than they hurt anyone else.
We end up carrying that burden, that weight, and it prevents us from moving forward, from healing.
Exactly. Dr. Murphy talks about forgiveness as an act of self-liberation.
Okay, so it's not about condoning hurtful actions or letting people off the hook. It's about freeing ourselves from those toxic emotions.
You got it. It's about choosing to release the pain and resentment that's holding us captive.
It sounds like a tall order, especially when someone's really hurt you.
It can be challenging for sure, but the rewards are immense.
And Dr. Murphy, he doesn't just talk about forgiving others, he also emphasizes the importance of forgiving ourselves.
Oh yeah, that can be even harder sometimes, right?
Oh, absolutely. Why do you think it's so difficult to forgive ourselves?
Well, often we hold ourselves to these impossibly high standards, and we beat ourselves up for past mistakes. Like, we can't let go of that guilt and shame.
Yeah, it's like we're our own worst critics.
Exactly. But Dr. Murphy, he reminds us that we're all human, and we all make mistakes. It's part of the learning process.
It's about extending that same compassion and grace to ourselves that we would offer to a loved one.
Perfectly said. He shares so many incredible stories about the transformative power of forgiveness, both in terms of our emotional and even physical well-being.
Oh, yeah, there was that story about the man who had this chronic digestive problem that doctors couldn't figure out.
And it turned out it was all rooted in guilt. He was holding on to this intense guilt over a business deal that went bad. Like, he couldn't forgive himself for making that mistake.
It's amazing how those unresolved emotions can manifest as physical ailments.
It really highlights the interconnectedness of our minds and bodies, right?
Totally. So this man, what happened? Did he ever find relief?
Well, he read Dr. Murphy's book, and he decided to really commit to forgiving himself.
How did he do that?
He started by acknowledging that he made the best decision he could with the information he had at the time.
So accepting that he was human, that he wasn't perfect.
Exactly. And he started repeating affirmations of self-acceptance and forgiveness.
Like, I forgive myself, I am worthy of love and forgiveness.
Yes, things like that. And he also visualized himself releasing that heavy burden of guilt. And amazingly, as he worked through this process, his digestive problems gradually cleared up.
Wow, that's powerful.
It is, right? It's a testament to the transformative power of forgiveness.
Okay, so we're starting to understand how forgiveness can free us from those emotional chains that might be holding us back.
It's about choosing to let go of the pain of the past so we can embrace the present moment with more peace and clarity.
So powerful. All right, welcome back to our deep dive into Dr. Joseph Murphy's The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. We've been exploring all these amazing concepts, from how the subconscious works to attracting wealth and love, even healing.
Oh yeah, and forgiveness, overcoming fear, such powerful stuff, right?
Totally. And now, for this final part, we're diving into the spiritual side of Dr. Murphy's work, the stuff that kind of ties it all together.
It's really where it gets deep, this connection between the practical and the spiritual.
Exactly. And what's fascinating to me is how Dr. Murphy, He doesn't see spirituality as separate from everyday life. It's all interwoven.
It's like spirituality is embedded in our thoughts, our beliefs, our actions. It's not some separate thing you do on Sundays.
Totally. And he sees the subconscious mind as this bridge, a connection to something greater than ourselves, a source of infinite wisdom and guidance, always there, waiting to be tapped into.
It's like we've got this inner GPS system guiding us, but sometimes we're just tuned into the wrong frequency.
Right. So how do we tune into that right frequency? How do we connect with that inner wisdom?
Well, Dr. Murphy, he talks about scientific prayer, but it's not about begging for favors or trying to change God's mind.
Yeah, it's not the traditional view of prayer.
It's more about consciously communicating with your subconscious mind, aligning yourself with this universal power that flows through all of us.
So it's less about asking for things and more about shifting your internal state, aligning with that higher frequency.
Exactly. It's about surrendering those fears and worries, expressing gratitude for what you already have, opening yourself up to guidance and inspiration.
Okay, that makes sense.
And Dr. Murphy suggests, we can use prayer to impress our desires and aspirations on our subconscious mind.
Like planting a seed and trusting it will grow.
Precisely. But, and this is important, it's not passive. It takes effort. You got to have faith, and you got to be ready to act when those opportunities show up.
So it's a partnership between our conscious efforts and the power of the subconscious.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're co-creating with the universe, using our subconscious as the bridge.
That's a beautiful image.
It is, right? And it's not just about this internal work. Dr. Murphy also emphasizes living in alignment with spiritual principles.
Like love, compassion, forgiveness.
Exactly. And not just because they're, morally good, but because they create this inner harmony that actually attracts positive experiences.
So it's walking the walk, not just talking the talk.
Yeah, putting those beliefs into action, living a life that reflects those values.
So if we're hearing this and we're feeling lost, stuck, disconnected, what's the key takeaway, the one thing you want listeners to remember?
That's a tough one. There's so much in this book.
Yeah.
But if I had to choose just one thing, it would be this. You are far more powerful than you realize.
That's a good one.
Your subconscious mind is an incredible force, and you have the ability to choose what you impress upon it, to consciously shape your reality.
We're not just victims of circumstance, we're co-creators.
Exactly. So choose your thoughts wisely, cultivate those empowering beliefs, and trust in the infinite potential that's within you.
Beautiful. This has been an amazing journey, a deep dive into the power of the subconscious mind.
I've loved exploring it with you.
And to all our listeners, thank you for being here, for joining us on this journey of self-discovery. Remember, you're capable of achieving incredible things. The power is within you. Go out there and create the life you were born to live.
And keep diving deep.
See you next time.